How's it going? Haven't done a backyard walk around tour clip for a little while, so I thought I'd knock one over this afternoon. Little bits changed in the backyard if you haven't been catching up with our other clips, so I'll try and do a very quick walk around that shows you a bit of everything. So starting up here at the house, we have the little air printing bag I made up a few weeks ago. It's still powering on alright. I did a little bit of an update clip on it. The fruit are coming on nicely, they're growing nice and large. Some of them a lot better than the plant did in the IBC, that's for sure. So I think it's more than happy in the pot here. Just to give you a bit of a teaser, I'm actually working on another project, air pruning barrel. So I hope to have that one knocked over in the next couple of days, and I'll do a proper clip on that one. Also too, I was very lucky to win a dancing flower from Dale, Media Maker 2000's his channel. Thank you very much, sir. And I got a few other goodies with him as well. I chat to him a fair bit on YouTube and other platforms, and yeah, he sent us over some gifts, and some of those gifts included some smart pots. So I'm going to have a crack at growing our poor little neem in the larger smart pot. I'll have it sitting down here and have a wet pot in there, and we'll just see how it goes. Smart pots are another air pruning bag, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And some of the others will end up here on a little platform I'm making up out of some schoolyard fencing. That's what we call it. It's a gow fencing, what the chicken coop's made out of. So that'll be set up here once I move some of these barrels around, and the large ones going from up the back there. It needs to turn back into a worm farm, so the sweet potato's got to move house. So yeah, a few things will be happening there. Set up the water chestnut bathtub the other week, and it's been going fairly well. Just got the kangkong up this end just so it doesn't go too rampant through the bed. But yeah, everything there looks good. There's some volunteer or feral marigold seeds, and also a loofah or maybe a cucumber that's popped up from the soil. The soil was the field that was in a wicking bed that was just here that's been removed. That's the sand from the base, and in its place I've put a great big huge 1 cubic meter or cubic yard compost. It's been cooking rather well. Came out this morning and it was at nearly 80 degrees and it had a bit of a fit. I had visions of the compost spontaneously combusting, but yeah, it's sitting around about 75 degrees, just below 170 Fahrenheit at the moment, so I don't think we're going to worry about it bursting into flames anytime soon. Also did a bit of pipe work through there to see if I could heat some water, but that turned out to be a bit of a dud. Down the back of the aquaponics, I built up another little box section, and this is just holding the top up water for the aquaponics. That's going to gravity feed down into the sump tank, and just the top up water for the RAS system. So that's something else I've just been working on, bit of, yeah, just using up some broken pavers there to neaten up the area. So yeah, there's a bit of fishing news for you. Down here on the hoop house, I've added some 30% shade cloth. We just found the summer temps were just, you know, getting, well, it's actually still springtime, but we got summer temps. We had 37, 38, so what's that? That's around about 98, 99 Fahrenheit. And yeah, it just cooked a couple of the plants in there, so I thought I'd take a bit of the sting out with that. It's just because we get sun. If those trees offered some shade, or we had other trees around that shaded it, I wouldn't worry about it. But because it gets no shade all day long, it really does cook the veggies in there. Down here I've trimmed back the Tahitian lime. Poor little worm barrel here is baking at the moment, so I'm going to move all my barrels around a bit, put him in under some shade. This barrel needs to be split as well. I'm going to be starting up another barrel and putting it up this end here under the kaffir lime tree, and the idea is the leachate will go down and fertilise that tree. Since the worm farms have been under the Tahitian lime, it's just boomed, so hopefully the same thing will happen here. The leachate will come down and feed this tree. Lemongrass is going well. Under here we have some of Deb's Taggart's Minuta or Stinking Roger. They're a nematode control, and also South American. I think it's Peru. They make a black mint sauce out of it, so interested to try that. And some Stars of Moon watermelon from Peter. Also got some of his gherkins down further. Just here we have the turmeric. We ended up keeping this turmeric mainly because we can make a therapeutic oil out of it. We're not too keen on the taste. Some of Bee's friends are, so we give them a bit every now and then. So thanks Sue and Andy for putting us on to making a bit of an oil out of that. Down here I have some potatoes in a barrel, no dig potato barrel, and they've started to shoot through, so I'm going to have to top that up with some more horse manure and some more mulch soon. Have a bit of a wander through the hoop house quickly. Snake beans, these are the volunteer snake beans, and they're just powering along. We've already harvested about a dozen or so pods. As you can see, they're a nice long bean, great for the subtropics. About 6 of these does the 4 of us, thrown into salads and bits and pieces for a meal, so more than pleased with the way this is going this year. The short Karuta carrots, they're coming up to be harvested. We've got some KY1 tomatoes doing well, Berkeley tie-dye down the end, another little Berkeley you can't really see there. We got a load of mushroom compost in, and I used it to revitalise this bed and top dress the bed behind it, and also made up some potting mix for my tomato starts. And Richard, thank you, Richard sent me some great heirloom tomato seeds, and I think I've killed them in the potting mix because the mushroom compost is basically still cooking and just too hot for the plant. So these capsicums down here aren't doing too crash hot. I think I'm going to lose that one just there behind the zucchini. So lesson learnt. We may not be getting many capsicums this summer, but yeah, it's just a mistake I made. There's not a lot I can do about it. It's just going to have to wait for the beds to cool down a bit and yeah, kick into the growing cycle. Luckily I didn't put any under the kale there, so we're still harvesting that kale and getting a bit out of it. Along here, Black Russian tomatoes are doing really well. I'll try and hurry it up, there's some more stuff I want to show you. Paul and Christie's Tigerella tomatoes are doing really well. Letting some lettuce bolt to seed now. It went through the hot days really well, so hopefully we'll get some nice heat loving progeny from that. Over here I've moved a couple of barrels from at the end there, just over there. One's got feral Yacon and some feral Cape gooseberries. They just sprouted by themselves, so yeah, hopefully we'll get some Cape gooseberries. We normally get the Colorado potato beetle decimate those plants, but because it's in the hoop house here, hopefully it'll be protected. And the comfrey's powering on as well. Just behind me here, I will show you this. This was a bit of a dud, our Brussels sprouts. A bit too warm here for Brussels sprouts, I think. But we've got a load of small ones. So Dale also sent me over some other goodies and treats for the girls. And in there was some steak rub. So I'm going to make up this steak rub. And I'll rip off these small, pitiful Brussels sprouts and I'll steam them up for Bianca. So at least she'll get 1 feed of Brussels sprouts this year from them. In here we have Peter's West Indian sour gherkins just up the back there. So they look like they're doing really well. In here I had some corn, but I pulled it out. It was a sweet corn F1 variety. I pulled it out because over the back here we have our glass gem corn, and these guys are powering on. They're growing faster than the F1 was, and my concern was that would send out tassels while we had silks on this, and what would happen is we'd end up cross-pollinating. We don't have a lot of corn here, and I am slightly concerned about inbreeding depression, but I want to save some seeds from these guys, and I definitely didn't want any cross-contamination of pollen from the F1 variety, so I decided to pull it out. This stuff is doing really well. We'll plant some more F1, some sweet corn later on in the season. Yeah, we've got a long growing season here. Down here we have some heirloom Italian zucchini, different variety this year. I bought those seedlings at the Boggy Fair, they're doing alright. Started to treat this kale. The new leaves coming through are doing alright, but the bottom leaves are decimated by caterpillars a bit. Spaghetti squash is just thriving in this end bed down here. I missed a female flower down there earlier today, so hopefully nature did the job for me. Where are we? There we are. You can't really see it, a bit blurry down in there. But yeah, hopefully nature did its job and fertilised that one for me. The Warrigal Greens has just gone crazy. This is the really sick looking plant I had in a pot under the aquaponics. Planted it out here and it's just started to boom. It's gone crazy. So I'm going to be snipping some of this off as well as some from the aquaponics and giving it a quick steam and then freezing it. Otherwise I think it's just going to take over this bed. The lemon still needs to be dug out, and we'll pop the mulberry down here, but that's a job on the list. So there's some feral comfrey. I'll just give you a quick look up here at the aquaponics. It's booming. As you can see, loads of growth on the kangkong. It's looking very green, so I'll do a proper update on that in a week or so's time, I suppose. So there you go, there's a bit of a look at the backyard garden. The front yard's just booming at the moment, so Kira wants to do a bit of an update on her bed, so I'll do one of the front yard, hopefully today or maybe tomorrow. Post that one as well. And yeah, the pawpaw, I really want to get that pawpaw into that hybrid air pruning barrel I'm making up, so hopefully there'll be a bit of a clip on that just to explain what's going on there soon. So there you go. If you've got any comments, questions or suggestions, pop them in the comment section below. And other than that, I hope you all have a great one and take it easy. Catch ya!